Theresa May is doing the rounds of broadcast studios this morning, promoting the new cash injection she has planned for the NHS. It's been widely reported that the funding, some £4 billion a year by 2020, would be paid for by clawing back some of the money we pay to Brussels for EU membership, and the Prime Minister has done nothing to play down these reports. She told LBC this morning, "We will be able, when we leave the European Union, to spend the money that otherwise we would have been sending to the European Union because currently we spend vast, significant sums of money each year to the EU. We'll be able to use that money on our priorities, and the NHS is our #1 priority, and we as a country will contribute a bit more." And why would she? If she lets people believe the money's all coming from the Brexit dividend, it looks like the government is delivering on the promises of the Leave campaign and delivering the increased funding the NHS so badly needs. Vote leaves famous battle bus image, Getty. But as the Mirror predicted on Friday, that's not the whole story. If you listen carefully, the Prime Minister admitted at least some of the money will come from tax increases, and that includes increasing taxes on the lowest paid workers. Here's why. Where else would the money come from? From you, of course. Image, Rex/Shutterstock. Reports circulated at the end of last week that at least some of the money would come from a freeze on income tax thresholds. Since 2015, the rate at which workers start paying tax, the personal allowance, has risen at the same rate as the minimum wage, one of David Cameron's key policies. Freezing the personal allowance would tear up the former PM's manifesto pledge that the amount of income tax paid by full-time minimum wage workers would be zero, nothing, zilch. It would also mean more people paying the higher, 40% rate of tax as earnings increase. Launching the Conservative Party's 2015 election manifesto, David Cameron said, "We're going to make sure that work really pays in our country. Not just now, but always." He said that planned increases to the personal allowance would mean that by 2020 nobody working 30 hours a week on the minimum wage would pay any income tax at all. He went on, "Today I can tell you we're going to go one step further. We are going to legislate that as the minimum wage rises, the basic tax-free allowance is automatically uprated too." You heard that right. If Conservatives are in government, we'll change the law so that no one earning the minimum wage will pay income tax. Image, Reuters. The law was indeed changed to require any change to the personal allowance threshold to take into account national minimum wage increases, as part of the 2015 Finance Act. Has Theresa May admitted that's going to happen? Image, Getty Images. North America. Well, decide for yourself. Here's what she said on LBC Radio this morning. Asked if the funding plan would include income tax rises, she said, "Well, we'll be setting out. The Chancellor will set out in due course before the spending review. He'll set out how the whole package of funding that we'll be putting, but it is right, I think, that we say to people that because the NHS is so important to us that we do look at asking for the country to contribute more, but in a fair and balanced way. I think that's important. So yes, we take the advantage that we've got of the money we're no longer sending to the European Union, but also in putting the amount of money we want to put into the NHS for the future. I think we do have to look at contributing more. So will it just be tax increases on the rich? Again, decide for yourself." Here's how the Prime Minister answered that question from LBC this morning. "We will do whatever we do will be done in a fair and balanced way, but the Chancellor will set it out in due course, and that we'll set it out before the spending review." How much will the Brexit bonus be? From her comment to LBC, it seems like the Prime Minister doesn't know. Asked for a figure, she said, "What I can tell you is what this extra money going into the NHS means per week." Now of course people may remember seeing a figure on the side of a bus, £350 million extra a week for the NHS in cash. Actually, what we're doing, What I'm announcing means that in 2023-24, there will be around £600 million a week in cash more, going into the NHS.